but Max Verstappen got his yard on the inside. Max Verstappen goes, Lieutenant Russell defender. Max Verstappen bars into Russell, and he got a fun win of.
What an atmosphere we've got. The fans have been here since dawn, and the stadium, the Faro Sol, is absolutely heaving. We're about to get set to set the grid for tomorrow's Grand Prix. It's qualifying day here in Mexico City.
Here we are, the Mexico Grand Prix is now underway for the talk between the qualifier, and I'll be honest with you, through the practice session, we were slung, but as it goes on, we start to get a little bit worse. So I don't know, but it's a long run, we might struggle, but short run, we feel much more quicker. That's how it seemed, but I've talked with our third run now and had a little contact with the wall. We're only doing one run for now because I needed to save components on the engine, which could be theoretically it's the reason why we end up struggling in the long run with a practice structure, which I should have changed to the night, and 2-1 and 2-2 is finished, and Carlos Sainz is out in 2-2, and here comes the third run. We had a pretty good time, purple sector 1, and then personal best in sector 2. This is our sector 1, by the way. We put a brand new stock tire on both run, and we are now coming to the finish line. We go sector 8-10 behind Charles Leclerc, and now third place behind Max Verstappen, and Charles Leclerc has taken the pole position, and Albon in fourth. Let's see how the Mexico Grand Prix will go.
Bienvenidos to the most populous city in North America. The legendary Jim Clark won the first official F1 race back in 1963 here, and we've had a veritable who's who of winners ever since. It's Mexico City, and therefore the Mexico City Grand Prix. At 2,285 metres above sea level, the thin air of the Autodromo Hermanos Rodriguez poses a unique challenge, not just to a driver's skill, but to the efficiency of their engines as well. 17 corners then make a lap of this 2.6-mile circuit, expect incredible speeds in excess of 220 miles per hour, and overtaking into the braking zones of Turn 1 and Turn 4. It's time to take a look at our starting grid for today's race. A fantastic effort from Charles Leclerc yesterday, and it's put him on pole. And Max Verstappen lines up alongside. Considering the rest of the grid, we have Russell, Albon, Oscar Piastri, and Antonelli, Norris, Colapinto, Tsunoda, and Pierre Gasly, Crawford, Ocon, Gabriel Bortoleto, and Sainz, Duel, Tramnitz, Isaac Hadjar, and Paul Aaron, Behrman, Hulkenberg, Lawson, and Zane Maloney rounds off the grid. And with lights out just moments away, it's time to go down to the track. And alongside me in the commentary box today, a man who I always look up to, which is easier said than done, Anthony Davidson. So here we are, 2.2 kilometres up in the air, which I know is an unusual feeling for you, Mr. Davidson, but for the drivers, it's even worse.
It is. The altitude can certainly get to your head, Crofty, that's for sure. Especially when you're walking up the stairs to the commentary box. I've seen it firsthand, ladies and gentlemen, don't you worry. But this circuit, the problem with the altitude is it takes away your downforce. You have to go slower around the corners because you've got less downforce, even though you've got Monaco wing packages on your car. That's the challenge of this incredibly unique circuit.
Right, Mexico Grand Prix, it's nearly time, and we are now looking into the stat sheet to make sure we know what we won. Theoretically, 2 stops into Group 1, and let the safety car, of course, that will make it better for us. 1 stop is pretty much the way to go, so we'll find out how the rate might go, and Charles Leclerc is on the stop tire. Interesting. The starting to for Charles Leclerc is definitely very different because the majority of top 10 is on a medium. So I'm gonna find out what is that is starting to then want to do. Are they hoping for clear air and going long, stop tight and coming at the same time at medium and put hard tire on? That is what I think they want to do. I have no idea. And of course, we got Max Verstappen in the second place, looking to try and get the win to help himself in the championship between Charles, Matt, and Lando in a battle for the Driver Championship. And we're now waiting for the 5 red and live. And it's now underway with a fantastic star from Charles Leclerc. Yes, it is. And Max Verstappen got a pretty okay out of the Piatti, and George Russell and Albon are pushing the button on Max Verstappen, and it's going to be 3-1 into turn 1. It's going to be clean. I think there's a contact, and I think I see an end play just flies off the car. I think that Max Verstappen, looking at the colour of it, and we've got Alex Albon battling with at the yellow, and George Russell in the second play with the Piatti down in third, and we are fighting real hard to try and maintain that second play, and it seems to be clean, and everyone getting there all seems to be perfectly okay. And you seem to know now P8 Gatling in P9, we got Land another in P7 with Alex Albon, P6 at the yellow, P5, and Max Verstappen down in P14 lot. 2 places, unfortunately. So that is unfortunate star for Max Verstappen. Can we find out if he's got a fan wind damage? And I think it actually does. He looks like he's going slower than he would have liked, but he's now losing 1 second gap to the Piatti, which is still, yeah, he's got a fan wind damage. That is so unfortunate. It is unfortunate for Max Verstappen considering his championship challenge, and we've got a lot of time in the pit, and we've got Albon battling with at the yellow, and I noticed Ocon. I think Ocon is coming in, well, yes he is, and hold on a minute, Lando Norris on the move on at the yellow, can he get though on Alex Albon? It looks like he's just there, can Albon defend it or not? He might not be able to. It's going to be side by side into the next corner. 10 Albon, hold on to this P40. That'll be big for the Construction Championship, and Lando another still launching forward, and it seems like Lando gone through, and the live timing more fight is going on with Torapito going up the P9. So yeah, there's 2 cars with the fan wind damage. Max Verstappen down turn 1, Esteban Ocon didn't notice what happened, so we need to find out where Ocon got his fan wind damage, which is now the replay is coming in, and we can see Max Verstappen down to turn 1. I'll tell you, this is a bit of a weird incident that has happened. We're looking at the everything handle that Max Verstappen actually should be the victim. So we all going though. I think Matt might have been in a very unfortunate position where he's done really tight on the inside. I don't know. And there's Ocon with the fan wind damage just before the turn 1 down. That where he got his damage from. That is really unfortunate for Esteban Ocon, and the Piatti now putting the pressure onto George Russell, and we are approximately 2.8 seconds behind Charles Leclerc, and Alex Albon is losing time to Lando Norris. And here is the replay of Carlos side. Yes, it is making a move on the hat, which will be Jack Tour for the Carlos side of Tour 25 P40, and it's now up in the P11. It has a good start in lap 1, and it started making a good progress, I think, up into P11. So that is solid work from Carlos side, and we now got Alex Albon on the inside of at the yellow. So at the defense attempt at the yellow, and it seemed like at the yellow might have got a good actor on Albon. Both of them got the other. Yes, they do. Both got the other. And love timing, there's the fight with Russell and Piatti. They are having a good racing right now. And at the yellow and Albon continue battling all out once again during the next corner. And it seems like at the yellow got on way on Alex Albon, and we're now into lap 4. George Russell is now going to start thinking about what can he do to defend agenda of the Piatti. For majority of the of tours going back to Singapore where McLaren and Russell had a fantastic battle, and this is a repeat of it once again. And Russell is defended continue again to the Piastri, and 3 wide to turn 1, and definitely as the manner support of a double overtake might not be able to do that now. But it had overtaken Alex Albon while at the other it got up into P5 and definitely coming back to on at the other now into P5 while at the other not into P6, P7 for Albon to choose well from Pierre Gasly and we got Newton not off tour within P9 after a really bit of a slow start, but he's still in the points compared to his teammate who had the forcing start to the right, who's down in P21, and up the Piastri, John New onshore Russell, can Russell get back New on up the Piastri, to the John out the outer, oh that's the very good speed, he managed to push through, and he gets the head, yes he does. Sure, Russell where had that Tom that with an incredible move from Sure Russell, and it now up the Piastri back ahead with the land on the inside of Sure Russell is now battered in the 3rd place, and I think up the Piastri and now solidified his place into the second place, and now it might have to do all the work again to land another try to the 3rd place, but if we can stay on the podium, it's a bit hard for the Construction Championship and land another. It wasn't sure, wasn't managed to make some move on Piastri. Can he get it done? He might be able to repeat it like he did in the last lap, and he can't do, and Piastri has been held up massively as he cut the toilet a little bit, and he held himself up, and that means land another has gone through on up the Piastri. So sure, not sure. It's been a very much very tough defender. He's basically doing what Max Verstappen would have done, and that is what we need from him. He needs to be ruthless to ensure his chance for the Construction Championship to improve in the play. And Russell's been overtaken by Lando. Another one to again. Well, Piastri, that's the first one to do it, and now they just two fighting, and it can Russell get Lando? It seems like that might not be the case. Lando might have managed to beat Sure Russell to it, yes he did, and now Piastri is coming back onto Sure Russell, and we can see cars behind is starting to catch it up to the podium spot for 2nd, 3rd, and 4th, including the 4th, and we can see in the MFD we've got a bit of a tyre temperature issue there, the tyre temperature issue, and now in lap 8, Pierre Gasly has now come on Sure Russell, and maybe at the end might be coming right, it's going to be side by side into turn 1. We've got live timing of the battle with Carlos and Colapito, and Albon is still ahead of Carlos that's good, and of course at the P6, and it's just overtaking Sure Russell. We've got Alex Albon coming well, his teammate of Russell now come though and still end up back high to Russell defended really tough, but the problem we've got now is the tyre temperature, the medium tyre, it's starting really bad right now with that tyre temperature. From where it's just the temperature issue, and Albon is gone there on Sure Russell up into P6, and Russell locked another place once to go. From 2nd place, 9 laps to go, now locked into P7 in lap 9. What is going on with the car? I think it's mainly the tyre temperature, and I do admit there is some issue with the entry components because we do not feel quick, and I've checked into MFD, they don't work on the components unfortunately, and lap 10 we got Charles Leclerc had put it for a brand new tyre. Do you have to manage to go online on it? Does that mean 2 stops is on the table for Charles Leclerc on a medium tyre now, and Max Verstappen, as you can see, is now in P40 to overtake Charles. Looks like he did up into P13. Max Verstappen had moved up into P13, and there's a replay started from P7, lap 7, sorry, from Max Verstappen, where he started to make a progress in those 3 laps before he overtaken Charles Leclerc. That's 2nd car in the same lap on the 2nd DR, though 30 hours lap down now, as they made a move. I believe it's Liam Lawson watched it live from Max Verstappen. By lap 9, Max Verstappen made another pole on the Audi, and that is it now into P13. Do we count Max in one stop? Definitely not. Charles Leclerc, you should never know, but I don't think he will. So I am expecting to see 2 stops from Charles Leclerc and Max Verstappen, and maybe the other stop tyre runner. So it's a very interesting strategy turnout here in Mexico. That's what you two get. Sometimes, don't you? The possibility of 2 stops and 1 stop is always a mixture between both, and George Russell is clearly trying to hit both to maintain his place, because Torpedo has caught up to George Russell. Is now within the other distance to Russell. So we are thinking, should we come in, put hard tyre on, and to hope the best for it? And Gatley is now chasing after the Piatti for the second place, and McLaren of Lando Norris in the lead, and we are expecting to see him to maintain that lead very, very soon. And because of course he has to stop again, so we'll see where Charles comes in for this one, and Russell has pitted for a hard tyre. Now this is where we are thinking, from one shot we pitted about 2 laps early, so the tyre well will be an issue I think, but let's see how Russell might handle that issue further down the line. And Charles Leclerc has overtaken Tour 4, Max Verstappen is made to the pole on the Isaac Hazard. He's going to go down the outside. He goes, yes he does. Max Verstappen shot strongly on Isaac Hazard, and Charles Leclerc, he now going to have to make some follow on the outside line of Hazard. It's going to get the on-wheel Hazard causing the issue. It looks like that is not the case. Charles Leclerc now up into P11, and Max Verstappen now has to take off for Ollie Behrman, and now at the Alex Albon on Alex Albon up into P4, and Torpedo P6, Newton P7, Duel P8, and Behrman and now got Max Verstappen now the outside, including Charles Leclerc. It's going to be a double overtake into turn 1, now into turn 2, and right. Ollie Behrman very unfortunate right there, and in lap 14 Max Verstappen has caught up to Jack Duel, but this is now where we're going to see if Charles Leclerc to catch Max Verstappen unexpected might not be able to do that. It's the same move that Ollie Behrman had experienced. We are seeing 2 world class, 2 world champion rivals are going at it in a very respectful manner, which is very shocking. I would expect to see Charles Leclerc to somehow send it on the inside of both cars into turn 1, but that not happened so far, and Albon has returned back ahead of Timmy at the other into P4 once again, and Charles Leclerc had now made the move on Max Verstappen before Max even tapped Newton Tanona. Only if Max taught you to be a big deal, but further down the line we got Lando pitted. I think that was Lando, yes it is, and Charles Leclerc had overtaken Newton Tanona in the same lap on third Tiara, and Newton Tanona did have to help Max Verstappen out here. Will Newton coming? No he doesn't. It's Newton either gonna let Max Verstappen do or not. Max has got the yard, yes he does. Newton also do have the yard, but will Newton let him do? And it seems like Newton's gonna cause the problem. Oh no, that is not gonna end well for Max Verstappen. On the outside, Max goes. Can he jerk the on Newton Tanona? Yes he does. At least Newton didn't make contact. But in lap 17, Newton should have done what he should have done last lap before causing an issue with Max Verstappen has pitted and landed. Another is up into third place. Max second, Charles in third, and George wasn't managed to make an undercut workout on Alex Albon, and at the yellow, despite being overtaken by them a long time ago, and he still managed to get undercut on Albon, and at the a fantastic ride from George Russell. We now got up the Piatti in our eye, but the issue is our tyre wear is 7, maybe 6, actually 6 laps older then up the Piastri is on right now, and Max Verstappen, you already have put it, has now made the product on Dabby Bortoletto, of course, his very good friend off the track. But Dabby might be causing problem here, or not. He seems like he has for a moment, but he let Max Verstappen do, and it's now going to chase off for Franco Colapito, and now in lap 21, we now got Albon. It started making a product on overtaking his teammate, Charles Leclerc. We didn't really put too much fight into it. We thought, sure, let him try and get his place up in the driver championship. Because here, the closest driver is at the alley, I believe. So if he can make some product from that, get the places up, that'll be perfect for himself. And we got Max Verstappen just overtaking Franco Colapito up into P9, and Carlos Sainz is now fighting with Max Verstappen, and Max going on the inside of Carlos Sainz and made another place up once again, and we are expected to see Max Verstappen to catch at the alley and potentially get into the fight with Charles Leclerc. But in lap 23, finally, Charles Leclerc has put it for another new tyre. It's a medium tyre. It didn't come out behind Max or ahead. Let's find out what happened here. It's now dropping the piece that his teammate at the end didn't come. Yes, he does. It seems like he didn't come out behind Max Verstappen. It goes ahead. It's going to be a close one now. He's actually on the pit exit and realise that it's a further close one. Charles Leclerc had managed to stay ahead of Max Verstappen. A incredible one from Charles Leclerc, and Newton Tsunoda is fighting with Colapito. And are we going to see Newton get there? It seems like he did up into P9. Newton Tsunoda, and now in lap 24 up the Piastri on the podium spot. Alex Albon needs to touch up the Piastri. We can get that podium for Albon. That would be extraordinary for Alex Albon. And we got lap to time just overtaking up the Piastri. And Piastri going slow. I think got an issue. Looks like he did. Up the Piastri actually got an issue there with no smoke. So I think he was just a normal engine cut out, and he's out of the Mexico Grand Prix. And everyone's going to move up one place, and that's the bit help for Alex Albon. And we got Charles Leclerc just overtaking Timmy at the yellow, and now the next victim is unfortunately George Russell, which so much interesting defense to help Albon. That perfectly fighting at the yellow is very much on Charles Leclerc's side, is very much on the track for the podium, and Charles Leclerc actually did make a bit of a contact on Russell, and Russell gave it back at him, keeping him behind, trying to prolong this position, and Charles Leclerc sent it. Charles Leclerc sent it on the jaw. Russell on the inside. What a move from Charles Leclerc. I thought he couldn't do anything about it, and Russell defended the outside line, but Leclerc spotted the gap, and he sent it, and he made it more fantastic move from Charles Leclerc. And now Russell to get some pressure from Timmy at the yellow, and Max Verstappen has also gone for a move on at the yellow, overtaken up into P6. Well, it's actually side by side still, and was trying to get back ahead of Charles Leclerc. Didn't work out, and Max Verstappen is now officially ahead of Timmy at the yellow, and we are trying this to stay close with Charles Leclerc, but unfortunately the tyre difference is Charles Leclerc got so much more healthy tyre compared to George Russell. As you can see, 2 seconds ahead, and Max Verstappen is now making a move onto George Russell on the outside line, up into P5. Can Russell do anything about it? Can he defend? It seems like he might be able to do it blatantly, and he managed to find the gap on the inside of Max Verstappen. Contact made, but I don't see any damage coming off the car, and it's now gone the butt later down the line, 30 yards down. George Russell had to defend again to Max Verstappen, had to come up the inside, and George Russell gone back to her of Max Verstappen. But later, just fast forward a little bit more, we got Max Verstappen coming back on the outside. Contact made a bit of a fun wing damage there but George Russell does not give up. He does not give up. He stayed ahead of Max Verstappen. We know George knows how Max it was. He's gonna do the same treatment at him if he can. Max Verstappen finally got a clear overtake on George Russell. Is it done? Is that it? Is it finished for George Russell? Did I fall out of the order or not? Can he somehow get himself back ahead of Max Verstappen? We still got the DR showdown at the alley, and at the alley might be able to get the move on George Russell. Might not seem like it though. No, he doesn't. George Russell now on the outside of Max Verstappen. He don't really get in there. George Russell, he still managed to find the pace to beat Max Verstappen, but now in lap 30, using all of the battery and trying to force Max Verstappen on the inside line, and he didn't really work as he had a perfect clear overtake. But the lot top from Max Verstappen, Russell has been a sliding and made the contact 2 times before he made it back through on Max Verstappen. But now in lap 33, Charles Leclerc has managed to catch Alex Albon up into P3 and Albon not into P4. Can Albon somehow make it work and stay close to Charles Leclerc? Let's find out if that can be the case. And we got Max Verstappen catching Russell once again, but have not managed to make him move. Is it done? Will Russell be able to stay ahead of Max Verstappen without needing to make an effort on the defender? But in lap 34, definitely second place, Charles Albon, unfortunately remaining in fourth, managed not to overtake, but he's still close within the DR, so we never know. And Max Verstappen has now gone on George Russell, and Russell standing on so deep, and he made small contact, but he managed to stay ahead. He was so deep, but he somehow made it work. Fantastic job from George Russell. He's given the treatment just like Matt would have done, and that is what we need from Russell. Just do that all the time, but further down the line, 30 yards down, Max Verstappen back ahead. But Russell is standing again, barging Max Verstappen up a little bit, and he's trying to get back ahead. Russell got a good exit, he's gone back though, and Alex Albon is now on his way onto Charles Leclerc. Now the outside, can Albon get though on Charles Leclerc, or will Charles be able to defend it? And it seems like to be a close one at the side by side, we can see it in the last time. But right now, Max Verstappen is making a move, and at the end, Tommy is at the end to enjoy it. No, he doesn't, and Max Verstappen had to back down a little bit, and Russell tried to cut the corner a little bit, but there was no warning, so therefore it was actually perfectly fine. And now to Max Verstappen to back ahead. No, it doesn't. Nothing being made here for Max Verstappen. And of course, Albon stayed ahead of Charles Leclerc. And speaking of that situation, they are catching up right now. So, and can they catch each other out? Who knows? But we got Lando Norris coming out the final corner, and he's now going to lead the final lap of the Mexico Grand Prix, and it's been pretty quietly for Lando Norris, let's be honest. But speaking of quietly, it's not so quiet down there for Max Verstappen and George Russell. They're completing again head to head. They are not giving up, and Charles Leclerc, will he get Alex Albon? No, he doesn't. Okay, perfect. It's the moment. But Alex Albon to finish on the podium. Come on, Albon, you can do that. Just hold Charles back for as long as you can. Charles Leclerc got the other, but it doesn't seem like he'll be able to make a move on Alex Albon, and we're back on board with the fight again at the end. Watching Max Verstappen making the contact with George Russell again. Russell at the attacking time, you didn't put in like 40 Max off the track a little bit there. But Max Verstappen got it. Yeah, like on the inside, Max Verstappen goes, Lieutenant Russell defender. Max Verstappen bars into Russell, and he got a fun win off, but Russell gets back by giving another elbow treatment to Max Verstappen. There's the fun win damage on duty time, let me tell you that now. And Lando Norris, he's now going to come home to win the Mexico Grand Prix. While definitely going to be finishing the second place. And Alex Albon, can he still hold on to it without making a mistake? Looks like he does. Third place for Alex Albon. It's not over. Max Verstappen on the inside. No, he doesn't. He backed down from it, and Russell remain in P5 as long as don't make a mistake coming out of the stadium. Hopefully we can still hold on to the P5. There's no penalty. The fight we have was a proper hard racing, and we've beaten Max Verstappen. We finished P5 after absolute brutal defense battery from Max Verstappen and everything. What a race from these guys. Absolutely fantastic was. I think it was a bit of a 50-50. Wasn't that clean enough, wasn't it?
Here's the checkered flag, and our winner has landoed. It's Lando Norris for victory.
They had to be decisive with their overtaking today as they worked their way through the field. And those kind of race victories are so enjoyable because it's not just like winning from the front. They really had to work for it today.
We had drama from start to finish, but in the end, there was only ever one that could take that top spot. He raises the trophy over his head. Lando Norris, head and shoulders above the rest today.
Well done to Lando Norris for a fantastic ride. I think Charles Leclerc and the right now have been matched over by Mercedes starting to tradition, but Lando is now 9 points behind Max Verstappen. Charles is 12 points behind Max. I think it's banned to sure not for fantastic defending again to Max Verstappen, and of course the Constructors Championship seems more like it's always been Lando Norris case. Maybe, who knows? And we're now coming to the end of the episode. It's going to be very tense going into the final 2 races because I think it's a 3-way fight for sure, as long as it's going to be a clean race. It's just that fight with Matt and George was absolutely chaotic. It's almost like the repeat of 2021 in some way. Back to the ending now. Thanks for watching. Please like and dislike my video. Do my very appreciate it, and peace out.